I'd love to be able to say that this was the CEX I was in when I had the credit, but unfortunately, it wasn't. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Let's Start a Movie Collection, the series where we build a movie collection for as little as possible. If you aren't familiar with the channel, mainly we run a free trading game collection challenge, which is a series that I build a video game collection without spending any money on it. If you want to go check that out, there is a playlist in the description for you. This series is similar, but I'm not going to restrict myself in having to make the money before we buy anything. So if I want to go buy something, I'm just going to go buy it. I may have a total spend running in like a video or two's time when I tot everything up, but for now what we're going to do is just go out and buy movies as cheap as possible. This video went live yesterday and I had to take it down almost immediately, but if you are one of the 200 or so people who saw that video, drop a like on the video and let me know in the comments that you were there as soon as the video went live. Now with that being said, today we are going to hit the shops and have a look at some Black Friday deals, and I use quotations because Black Friday, I would say, isn't what it used to be, but in the UK it's never really been that big of a thing. People make out that it is. You go and look and there's just not any deals on. So we're going to have a little look in HMV, 2 HMVs to be precise. I do go to Asda as well, but the footage is absolutely not worth showing you here, so I'm not going to. But we also go to CEX because I've picked something up that is worth trading in. It was a very, very good deal. There is a little bit of a talking point, but before we get to that, let's head to HMV. So the first of 2 HMVs, this one is actually before Black Friday, only a couple of days, but still. Terrifier 2, brand new out. I have seen it, it is good, but it's not as good as the first one. I think it needed to keep the quirkiness, and it didn't. I mean, it's so gory, unbelievably gory, and he is still funny in it. There are a lot of moments where you just burst out laughing because he's just unpredictable and he's just funny. But yeah, if you have seen it, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Now, there are about 27 people looking at the 4Ks here, so I am going to waste a couple of seconds looking at the Blu-ray. They have a whole host of Blu-ray, and it's only going to be in the situation like Terrifier 2, for example, where it doesn't have a 4K release, where I'll ever really look at Blu-ray. So Police Academy on box set's not really something I would always go for. However, I do really like the films, but it's because it's not going to have a 4K release. When it comes to Predator, that obviously does across the board. I think every Predator movie has a 4K release, or at least most of them do. So Movie Club is taking part at the other end of the 4K section, so I'm going to take a look as what I can in this section. And I say Movie Club because they are literally having a conversation about whatever film it is on the shelf. Battle Royale, very, very good film if you haven't seen it. I probably will look to pick that up at some point on 4K. Don't know how that transfers, but still. The Forever Purge, not anywhere near as good as the other Purge films. I love, like, you know, people say when it comes to Saw, it tails off after the third one. The Purge, only the first 3 are good. I like all of them equally. Fifth Element, not the last time you'll see that in this video. We do take a trip to CEX where they have that, and we're going to compare the price. That was $19.99, as is Doom, by the way, which I own twice. I think I own it on DVD and Blu-ray, and I begrudge buying it a 3rd time. And it's like that for a lot of things. So Lampoon's there, Christmas Vacation. I do really want it on 4K, but I've bought it on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and now here we are with 4K, and they charge full price for it. So this is Black Friday in my local HMV. They've got a pretty decent selection of 4Ks, as you can see. I think there are like 2 full bays and then a little bit of like the end. 25% off the sticker price, but that isn't the deals. So for example, what I'm about to pick up here, Pet Sematary, it is 2 for $24, which the deal doesn't include, or $19.99 each, which it does. So if I wanted to buy it, it would give me 25% off the sticker price of the individual thing. I wasn't a big fan of the deal. I didn't think it was particularly very good. If it was, and I asked a member of staff before anyone questions it, if you managed to go in, by the way, and they gave you the discount off the 2 for whatever, then you are one lucky son of a gun. Because I asked, and the guy didn't really seem to know, but then the answer he gave me was no, it's just the sticker price, it's not the deal. If you want the deal, you get the deal, you don't get the Black Friday discount, which I thought was very, I don't know, I just didn't like it. I thought 2 for $24 with 25% off, I'm in there, I'm going to get a couple, but
I probably would have bought 4, but I didn't like the deal. Plenty that I would have bought, I just didn't like the deal. The one thing I don't like doing though is paying full price for things like this. Right? Okay, it's a steelbook, so it's a bad example, but that is £25 for a film that in a week or two is going to be £10 in CEX, maybe even less. In fact, you can get that for £15 in CEX right now. Leave it a little bit longer, it'll come down again. It's different with video games. Video games hold their price for a lot longer. Movies don't. I'm new to collecting movies, so I'm going to have to get my head around this. But let me know what you think of that in the comments. Do you ever pay full price for movies? Because I know a lot of you will pay full price for video games, which in my opinion is just that little bit different.
So unfortunately no deals to be had there. There were a few things that I could have bought, but I decided against it. If you managed to go to HMV on Black Friday and they gave you the discount on the 2 for 24 or 2 for 30, let me know in the comments, because I've seen a few people on Twitter say that they had the 25% off the deal, whereas my HMV, I would say, were adamant, but the member of staff I spoke to didn't seem to know, but told me no, it's just off the individual price, it's not off the deal. So let me know in the comments whether you managed to actually get it off the deal or not. With that being said, let's go over to Vinted, because I've picked up Blade Runner 2049. Not a movie I've seen. I've seen the original a couple of times, but not for like a decade or so now. From what I remember, it was a decent film, but the new one has got equal reviews to the original. However, I haven't seen it, and I decided I was going to trade it in. Someone left a comment yesterday and said, why didn't you watch it? Seems a bit weird that you didn't even watch it before you traded it in. It's a good point. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I didn't have time, because I absolutely would have had time. It just didn't cross my mind to watch it. It's just not something that I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch that, I'll give it a go. I just didn't care. You know, I will eventually pick it up, because I actually do want to watch it at some point. It just didn't cross my mind that I would want to watch it there and then. So, it's not like I can't go back and get it again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it into CEX. I picked it up for £2. It was free postage, but I did have to pay a little bit of a fee on top. So we're going to round up to £3, even though it was a touch less. But this trades in for £10 into CEX. So, I'm going to go trade it in. I'm going to pick up £10 in credit. I'm going to see what we can get.
I'd love to be able to say that this was the CEX I was in when I had the credit, but unfortunately it wasn't. So this is, I want to say Gloucester. Might be wrong. CEX, they had some bangers in here. Now, I know a lot of people don't like these films. I love the Resident Evil movies, all of them. There isn't a bad one in my opinion. They had the original Scream on 4K, which in HMV at the moment you can only get as part of the double pack with the new one, which doesn't make any sense. There's Fifth Element again for £12, so that is cheaper than HMV as well, with the slipcover, which is nice. But unfortunately, like I said, I didn't have the credit in this store. So I had to go to my store, and as you can see, the selection is sparse. I mean, there are a few things here. So this Ghostbusters, the remake, Afterlife. Let's just call it Afterlife, right? I really liked this. I thought it was fantastic. It was very emotional, but it was true to the original. I liked it. It was a good film. So that was tempting. But there were a couple of other things here that I kind of wanted. The one that I did want, though, was Batman. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. Returns, I want to say. Didn't have it. Had it the other day. Literally like a day or two before I was in there, and it was there and I was tempted, but didn't have the credit at the time, and I decided, well, don't want to just buy it, I'll come back and get it when that arrives. It arrived, I went in with the credit, and yeah, didn't have it. There's Game of Thrones Season 1 there for £6, which I think is a very good deal, considering if you try and buy that in HMV, it's like £25, and eBay have it for about 15-20 as well. So I was tempted by that. San Andreas, I like those sort of natural disaster films. It's not the best, but it is still a decent film. I enjoy it anyway. John Wick 3, if it was the first one, I probably would have bought it. So those were the selections, that was the choices. What did I actually buy?
Okay, I am back from my outing to both CEXs, one of which I really wish I had the credit in, because they had quite a few films actually that I really wanted, so I kind of wish I had more credit and money to spend, but I didn't, and I couldn't pick anything up in that CEX, and then I managed to trade it in and get the credit. So I picked up a movie that in yesterday's video, I wouldn't say sparked controversy, but a lot of people were criticising the movie choice. That's absolutely fine. You are more than entitled to criticise the film that I've picked up here, because I know, even I know, to most people, what I've essentially done here is swapped Blade Runner for this movie, and this movie is considered trash by many, but that's okay, because this is my movie collection, it's going on my shelf, and I'm the one that's going to have to watch it. You don't have to. That's the beautiful thing about video games, music, art, and movies is the fact that you may love something that I despise. And that's okay, because that creates a talking point. So I traded it in, got £10. Remember, it cost us £3. I then had to add £2. So basically, this has cost me £5. It is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Now, I tore the label off this, the CEX stickers, because at the time the video was rendering, and I thought to myself, there's no need for me to keep these stickers on now. I can remove them, right? No, absolutely not. So I removed it, but it was £12. This is a decent film. I wouldn't say it's a good film by any stretch of the imagination. It was decent. I enjoyed it for what it was. Yes, there are plot holes. Yes, the characters don't necessarily behave the way the originals in the video game would. There are a few continuity issues here or there, but for the most part, for what it is, I enjoyed this film. Now, I love the originals. Mila Jovovich in the original, The Apocalypse, Extinction, you name it, I like them, right? And I'm weird like that. But zombies, regardless of whether it's a video game adaptation or just World War Z or whatever it may be, I love zombies, and I will watch terrible zombie films and consider them good. So this, for me, was always going to be a purchase. Now, I know that this isn't up to the standard of Blade Runner. I get that, right? And I know a lot of people wouldn't do what I've done, but I like it, so it's going into the collection. Now, with that being said, in the next video, I managed to find some stuff in my attic when I was picking up some Christmas decorations. Got sent there by the wife, obviously, because apparently she's too good to go in the attic. Fair enough. So I go up, I start having a little bit of a mooch around. Oh, I can't find the decorations. Let's have a look in this box. I'm not. I'm just looking for stock at that point, or looking for things I can put into the collection or whatever that I've packed away and forgotten about. And I find some VHSs, and in the next episode of this series we are going to uncover some pretty nice VHS that I may or may not keep, and if I decide to sell them, it's going to give us a pretty big budget to go and buy some decent 4Ks, unlike this. Why did you buy it if you don't think it's decent? And I think it's decent, it's just I know a lot of people are going to criticise this. Criticise away, it's absolutely fine. My movie taste is terrible, and that's okay. If you have enjoyed this episode of the Let's Build a Movie collection, let me know in the comments section, and also by hitting that like button, subscribe for more content, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.